Welcome to the Paranormal Nut Podcast. I'm your host, Sean, aka Paranormal Nut, your voice of insanity in a sane world. We are joined with our good friend Jim,
Hey guys.
and this is going to be a more of a rebirth of my old YouTube channel, a rebranding, if you will. Um, I wanted to get away from the video essay kind and go into really a more conversational show, hence our good friend Jim. And I'm just going to bring up some topics. We're going to talk about some paranormal stuff that we all love and get into the good stuff, really. All right. Jim, how do you like that formatting? Do you think we'll do pretty good with that?
Yeah, I think so. That's good right there. I like that start.
I worked on it, so you better like it. So,
Rehearsed, professional.
what we're going to do to start off each episode, we're gonna kind of go over paranormal news. So, granted, paranormal news is a very uh, weird way to put it. Recent trends in the paranormal community and just things of that nature. And since this is our first episode, we are recording in October now. There's been a lot of things that have happened recently that I kind of want to get into. That's kind of past news, but we'll touch upon it so everyone knows where we kind of stand. Um, and then there's some more recent stuff I want to bring at the end of this segment, and we'll get into that, which you will be really excited about. But then from the news, we move on to the topic of the show, which Jim has no idea. I prep all the show notes beforehand, and I want to see what Jim knows before I really get into it and dive into it and get his, honest to God, not reaction, but what the common person knows about these maybe more eccentric or exotic paranormal phenomenon, wherever we're getting into. And then after that, after we go through our topics and we talk all about that, we will go into what I like to call a paranormal grab bag, where I surf the internet and I find some very uh, scary, crazy, interesting video clips, photos, voice recordings, whatever it may be. Um, and we go over those and review those, give our honest takes. And yeah, so I think we have a lot of interesting stuff for, I guess, the viewers and Jim to learn today.
Can't wait to get into it, buddy.
All right. So, obviously, this wouldn't be a paranormal channel if we didn't talk about the recent disclosures going on about aliens and UFOs and all that. So,
I love hearing about aliens.
yeah. So, I guess, Jim, from your, out of everything you've heard about, obviously, disclosure, we're talking about David Grush, the Mexican aliens, and all the UFO phenomenon that has been going on in the past 3-4 months, I would say. It really
Yeah.
picked up steam. So, Jim, can you give us from your background knowledge what's been happening?
From what I've seen, David Grush was working in what it was monkey or well, he was working basically like the QA for the Black Ops projects, and there were a lot of things he was trying to dig into, and that's why he took the whistleblower route because he got basically threatened administratively.
Close enough.
Yeah, he got bullied through there. They wanted to take his pension away. They wanted to take just basically ruin his career, and so that's why he took the whistleblower route, where he went to Senate, Congress, and basically wanted to tell them the truth about everything. He couldn't disclose everything out to the public, but behind closed doors, they were able to get a better understanding of what actually happened behind
uh,
in those black sites projects.
yeah, and for those of you who do not know, I believe it was June 25th or 26th. Um, Dave Grush, along two other members in the military and air defense sectors, presented to Congress not really evidence, but more their experiences, I guess. Um, but we're gonna focus mainly on Dave Grush because the other two, one is that famous 2004 TikTok or Tic Tac. Sorry, I'm too young to know what a Tic Tac is. Apparently, UFO, and the other individual involved is a part of the uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh,
uh,
he was
stri-
doing testing of high speed planes and whatnot.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the reason he was there, and he was just like, I don't know what these things are, but things keep flying into our test ranges, and that's a problem. We need to figure out what they are and get them out of there. So he's just concerned about his safety and his guys. He didn't. I don't even think he even brought up the fact that he thinks they're extraterrestrial. He just thinks they're outperforming a lot of his stuff. But back to David Grush, very interesting fellow. Normally, when you think of somebody who's a whistleblower or um, like an Edward Snowden or something like that, you think of someone doing things illegal, stealing information, and them going into hiding. David Grush being a part of the government for pretty much his whole entire life, being in the Air Force and then in the defense sector, we he chose to do it in a very formal manner through proper channels, and that may be the smart choice to stay alive, but we'll see.
It's one
So,
of the few patriots left out there trying to get the truth out.
and then there's the other coin. The other side of the coin is he may just be a psyop. Are you familiar with the term psyop? Yeah,
Yeah.
where essentially a government plant directing us one way so we don't look the other way. I don't think that's yeah
Disinformation.
disinformation. I don't know if that's the case, but who knows? Um, and then this is probably my favorite story to come out in I don't know how long. I've been a paranormal enthusiast my pretty much my entire childhood growing up, watching X Files and stuff. But this takes the cake. This is Jim. I know you know what's coming, and we're talking about it. We're talking about. Let me pull it up. We're talking about the Mexican aliens. Well, they're not Mexican. They're the Nazca aliens because apparently these
Can't
fossilized
can't get those
mummies.
two mixed up.
Yeah.
It
Sorry, yeah, because Nazca is in Peru. I knew that. Just like the Nazca lines. That's how I know that. So here's well, what people are claiming are mummified aliens found at an archaeological dig. Um, what are your thoughts on the aliens, Jim?
I mean, they did a whole like biopsy of the body, checked everything, and I feel like this is the first time I've ever seen like Mexico come out with this kind of information. Or you said it was Peru?
Oh, the aliens were
Oh, it was
found in Peru. This is to
yeah, but the
Mexican Congress.
Mexican Congress. I mean, I wouldn't see why they'd come out and try to fake something like this. I mean, yeah, it looks like ET was turned into a cheesecake, but like at the same time, I mean, if it's over, what is it? They say thousands of years old.
Yeah,
I
I don't know if they
mean,
got the correct dates on those, but you can see the X-rays here. Allegedly, there's eggs and some sort of medical
like almost like
implant.
a implant for like technological reasons.
So this X-ray probably doesn't give the best view. I've seen other ones that are a bit more clear that show the finger placements are not consistent between the hands. The same thing with the legs. So it looks like someone put a lot of effort, but not like um that's where a lot of people are coming in and saying this is just the craziest hoax they've seen. And yeah, so I don't give any credence
I
to this
I just the
cake
only
alien.
the only thing I gotta say is I don't know why the Mexican government would want to embarrass themselves like this. Like that's the only reason I see why there could be truth behind it. Why
I
would
don't
they?
think it was the someone presented to Mexican Congress.
I see.
Um, and it wasn't like a senator from Mexico. I don't actually know what the political system is over there. was like, "Hey, look at this. We found these." It was similar to David Grush, where someone said, "Hey, I have proof of extraterrestrials, so let me show Congress." And then he rolled out these bad boys, and yeah, so
Somebody in clay class.
something like that. All right, I'm gonna close this down, and we're gonna open up our last bit of paranormal news, and this one you're really excited for.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, let me pull it up here. Okay, for those of you who follow paranormal events, this one probably came across your timeline as recently as last week, I believe. So this would be the beginning of October. Apparently, a couple in Colorado was riding a nice train and stumbled upon this and decided to record. Let me go ahead and share this. Ooh, can I turn that? Yeah, let me turn off this audio because I don't like this guy narrating. And just we have this guy just
He looks like he just wants to take a dump in peace.
yeah, out here taking a squat, chilling, vibing. It's very hard to see, and I'll probably have to go post edit and zoom in on this because there's a video. But kind of in the center of the screen, off to your left as the camera's moving. Now he's off camera. Yeah,
Give me some of that Bigfoot ussy.
yeah. People are saying they found Bigfoot and they recorded it, and he's just walking along the I mean, this is the middle of Colorado. There could be people running around in Bigfoot costumes if waiting for trains to come by and taking a squat when they come by. But this is weird. The costume or the actual Bigfoot fur, if you will,
It
blends
looks
in very
re-
well with the surrounding area.
really does, but it does look good.
It
Like
looks very
that's the
good.
clearest footage I think I've ever seen of Bigfoot
Yeah,
before.
and we will. Don't worry, friends and family. We will get into a whole episode on Bigfoot, but that is not today. But that is very interesting. I highly recommend looking up all the videos on this, the slowdowns, the zooms, and all that. It's hard to. I mean, there is definitely something physically in the space. Is it a guy in a costume, or is it a guy in, or is it just actually a guy Bigfoot? you know. So, all right.
84, I was mistaken for Bigfoot.
80. You're not that old, Jim. That's what the crazy part is.
That's what the crazy part is.
All right. So that will conclude our paranormal news topic. We'll do
Topic,
it.
topic.
yeah. No, we don't have the budget for that, aka my free time.
Me
What we
broke.
do have is enough time to go on to the actual topic of today's episode. And
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
it's mostly still images, and you'll understand why. Because this, I would put this more as a legend, a cryptid, but more almost like American mythology. And
Like
this one's very close to my heart too. Today's episode will be on. Drum roll, please, as I share screen. The Jersey Devil.
ooh.
Right, yeah. So, Jim, I'm not outing you too much when I say that you live in the state of Pennsylvania, across the river, if you will. If you want to go find Jim, go find him. He'll love it. He loves the attention.
I do.
But
I do.
so your neighbors across the river, and I actually used to live in Jersey, have this wonderful creature roaming around. What do you know about the Jersey Devil before I get into it?
Uh, what I know about the Jersey Devil is he's in the Wood Barrens, right, or the Pine Barrens. Sorry, the Pine Barrens. He
Yep.
lives in the Pine Barrens. He's looks basically what that is right there. That's well, there's multiple accounts of what he looks like, and I feel like that's one of the big things when they're trying to discern which Jersey Devil is real.
Fair. Yep, definitely. So
I
let
used to think he
me.
was a Tasmanian devil looking.
The Tasmanian devil is an actual real animal that does not exist anymore.
Wait, they existed?
The Tasmanian devil, right? No, am I thinking of yeah,
Yeah. Actually, yeah,
yeah,
probably.
right?
I
They're
could I
the
could see that.
well, they went extinct in Tasmania when big game hunters went and like killed them all out, and they got out. But I think that or they got out competed by dingoes that got brought over from Australia up to Tanzania, or
I get out competed by dingoes every day.
don't we all? Yeah. So let me put this down for 2 seconds and
You
get
remember
into
when
it.
Australia lost a war against the emus?
They certainly do. So the Jersey Devil, not the New Jersey Devil, mind you, that is a big sticking point for them because actually, when this was all, I'm taking a little tangent for a history lesson. When this was all coming out in the 1700s, um, New Jersey was not New Jersey. It was still New Jersey, but they divided the state east to west, and there's like this is the West New Jersey, and this is anyway. The New Jersey is the hockey team, and they don't like to be associated with this thing, which is the Jersey Devil, which I think they do, but I think the Jersey Devil doesn't want to be associated with hockey. Is what I think the real story is. The Jersey Devil, a monstrous horse-like devil that is said to roam the massive pine lands of New Jersey. Pine Barrens, sorry. See, even I'm screwing it up. It is said to be the 13th child of Mother Leeds. And so Leeds is a very interesting character. I've told you about my other ventures into paranormal media and stuff like that. I've actually tried to make a show, and that show never got off its feet. But the first episode on that show was going to be the Jersey Devil, and I've done some interviews with a lot of people, and the story is that the Leeds family, and you could go to where the house was, and I've been down that way before. Um, the husband was always away and always working and never home. And every time he was home, essentially, they end up having a new kid until they had their 13th kid. Now, Mrs. or Mama Leeds here was very fed up with her husband and didn't want another child. And as she gave birth to this 13th child, said, the devil can have it, or I give this thing to the devil. There's mixed reports, obviously, from way back when. But essentially, when this thing was born, there's the story of it flying around the cabin and causing havoc and coming out like a demon like creature and then fleeing off into the Pine Barrens where it still rests today. So, this is definitely a very folk tale mythological creature, and there's not a lot of evidence for it. But what I do want to pull up is the things that I have able to find and that have come out in the span of time this thing has existed. And I want to share you some of that. Share screen. All right, here's probably the most clear cut evidence we have of the Jersey Devil. Um, a blurry photo. I think this was in the 80s. Someone was driving down a highway and they were able to snap a picture. And Yeah, there's not much there. I mean, you can see the trademark bat-like wings, which are obviously demon association and whatnot. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I mean, black smudges don't prove anything, obviously. But we will go into a bit more recent quote unquote footage, or not footage, but a photo again. Um, this right here is supposedly taken from a trail cam. What do you think of that, Jim?
That, I mean,
I have a better
does it
version of
it looks scary. Whoa. Yeah, that thing definitely looks like a demon.
this.
Straight.
It's very small. You can see the tail. You see some form of wing.
Wait,
The
if
socketed eye is one of the scarier things here.
if you saw that in person, would you be scared of it, or would you be like, "I'm gonna whoop this thing's ass right now"?
So obviously, I am very strong and very powerful as I sit here in my computer chair.
I
So
agree.
my answer to that, as I sit here in my, heated home, is I could run up and punt this thing a mile. If I saw that in the night of the Pine Barren, at night in the Pine Barrens,
That's a
I
different
would
story right there,
be,
buddy.
I would be probably a bit hesitant. This thing is,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
It's got the wings on the back. It looks like it's got those demon eyes. Like it just looks
yeah,
at you.
it's definitely looking at you with some malcontent.
Got like a
Um,
sunken face to it. You see those teeth, those
oh
mouth.
yeah, it's pretty intense. So obviously there have been various theories on what it could be, um, or what is it, right? If it's people are seeing things, there have been many reports. Many of the reports are howling or screaming in the midst of the night, which is always terrifying. Um, but
Could be
I
taken
do
for a
want to
Wendigo.
uh, Wendigo, and I'm sure we'll get into Wendigos because they're very interesting. Definitely more northern, northwest. Um,
Native American.
native. Well, yeah, there were Native Americans in New Jersey, obviously, but
Yeah.
yes, the northwest and into Canada. I'm trying to pull up an image here in a second. Um,
For people who didn't know, Canadian Native Americans are called the First Nation. Or First People, sorry.
oh yeah, I forget that you're actually also Canadian.
Yes,
So
sir.
a more exposing Jim. So the reigning theory on what this is something called a horsehead bat. Do you know what a horsehead bat is, Jim?
Sounds terrifying.
Or sorry, hammerhead bat. My fault.
Is it anything like a hammerhead shark?
Exactly. It's just a hammerhead shark with bat wings. No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Another
So
mythological creature. Jesus Christ.
right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa. We're
Whoa,
canceled. It's over.
whoa.
Done.
We're done. We're out.
All
We're
right.
done.
This is the. Well, let me end this. Close this. And then open this. And share this. Clearly, we have everything down to a science here now. So,
Oh my God, that thing's ugly. Looks like
yeah,
a camel head a little bit.
yeah, it definitely does. And now picture this, and then we'll scroll back to this. Can you see it? Maybe. Granted, why
Yeah,
would
I
a
could.
bat be on all fours?
I mean, it's a big bat.
I'm saying that it's something to think about. But these bats are located in Africa solely. So the fact that one is hanging out in New Jersey is not impossible. Obviously, there are people who collect
People
exotic
get
animals.
pets and let things go.
But yes, so a lot of people are saying that there's some swans that might get confused and things of that nature. But
That is
again,
so ugly.
there's not a lot of evidence for the New Jersey Devil out there. Well, out there on the internet. I've gone and I've talked to people about the Jersey Devil, and they believe it's real. There are songs made about the Jersey Devil. There are stories that you go down to, South Jersey anywhere. You start talking to people like, "Oh yeah, me and my dad used to go camping out in the Pine Barrens, and we saw this or we heard this." And so there's definitely something alive in the zeitgeist for the Jersey Devil. Is it the 13th kid of a woman from the 18th century that cursed their child to Satan himself? I don't think so.
I'm gonna go with that.
You're going to go with that? Yeah. So, the Jersey Devil, I'm gonna say is not. I'm not gonna rule and say people it's busted or it doesn't exist. I think there's something going on in the Pine Barrens. I don't think it's the spawn of Satan. That's just me.
I think it's just a cool story.
Yeah, and people love their cool stories, especially in America where um, we kind of don't have a uh, not panthology, but a
Just like full.
mythology, right?
Yeah.
And I think paranormal and ghosts and aliens and all those cryptids kind of fills that void for a lot of us. So we don't have our gorgons and we don't have our medusas, or we don't have our fey creatures of Ireland, Scotland, and the Celtic people.
Oh god, leprechauns.
Exactly. And I think this is where we, as at least the Americans and not the indigenous people, definitely fill that void coming over and creating our own stories, but in a more modern time. Um, yeah, and that's kind of why I like doing this show. All right, so let me get rid of this, and now we're going to. I'm looking at my mouse on the share screen and not on the actual screen. Get rid of that for a while, and we're going to move on to the paranormal grab bag. This is, I think, my favorite part of the show as we look over random stuff that we found on the internet. Most of it's scary. Jim's clapping. Um, so this is what I've scrounged up off the internet. In the future, there will be a email. Well, there will be an email down below that you could submit your own paranormal evidence or videos you find, and if I think it's interesting, it will make it on the show. If I don't think it's interesting, I will gatekeep you and keep it off. But that being said, I mean,
I'll
you'll
sneak it
see.
on there, guys.
You just lost your producing credit. No.
Fuck.
We're a YouTube program. We can't swear. Oh, no, I think we're
Oh
good.
no.
I think we get one. I don't know how this thing
I
works.
think it's like Disney. You get one.
Yeah. Right. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this one off. This one's very quick, so I need you to focus tight and yeah. So as it's freeze frame, just right, cat eyes, right?
Oh yeah, definitely looks like cat eyes.
All right, I'm gonna play it. It's only 7 seconds long, so that's why I wanted to make sure you get your eyes on it before I hit play. Oh, hold up. Missed the best part. I gotta turn the volume on for this one because the person's calling the cat.
Pip,
Pip.
come here, guy. Buddy.
Oh my god.
Right?
I would like.
That's okay. We'll watch it back one more time and
Pip. Pip. And then you hear.
great name for a cat.
Pip, come here, guy. Buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So let me get a freeze frame when the cat starts to.
I want both eyes, like the cat's eyes and
Yep.
those eyes.
Come here, guy.
So
buddy.
I want to kind of roll between 4 and 6 seconds here. So you can kind of see the shutter, and then it disappears.
Could that be the reflection of the camera? Like does she have the flash on?
Maybe that's a good thought, but
Could be a mirror back
Pip?
there. But it disappears once the cat gets through, so that's
yeah, it's very
Come
weird.
here, guy. Buddy.
Well, it's still there
So
when
you
the
see
cat's in
that-
the front.
Yeah, so it comes in front, but what I don't like the movement of it. Not like it's creepy. It just looks very unnatural. It looks like stuck in the frame, and you see it kind of dip,
Yeah.
and then it's gone, erased by the tail almost. So that one's tough. That could be a special effect easily. And I don't know, the video ends too rapidly to get a reaction from the person filming. So it's hard to gauge their reaction is authentic or not.
I just wonder why, if that happened to me and I saw something like that, maybe she didn't see it at first. Oh, well, I mean, she called Pip.
Yeah.
But Pip did come out of there, but the eyes were still there when Pip was already in the daylight, and the eyes were still there. So,
yeah, that
but
one.
that movement gets me. That movement, like, because it almost like kind of moves with the camera a little bit when she shakes. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. What
I'm
that
leaving
thing could
that.
be.
Yeah, I'm leaving that on. I don't know. It could be it can be both. So moving on to our next one. Okay, this one you'll enjoy. More outing of our personalities and our lives and stuff. Me and Jim were both in the Navy, so this one's gonna strike true to our hearts. You ready, Jim?
Yes, sir.
We're on a boat. Only good things happen on boats.
I got another one over here. What are those? What the fuck's going on? On each side of the boat? What are those trails? What's something swimming fast underneath that water? Something swimming real fast underneath that
It's
water.
not a dolphin. Dolphin doesn't swim that
I
fast,
hear him. Where's she at?
and that's not how they swim.
What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it.
I saw something under the water.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Did you catch that at
heard-
the end though?
Jump for me.
Yeah, did you catch that? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what. A little too. Let's back that up just
The
slightly.
old siren's call.
Yeah. Yeah. That is. Oh, this is the stuff I love. I was joking when I was talking about the aliens before. This is the shit that I like. Right? It's not. Ghost stuff is awesome and fun, and it's scary and it gets you, but something like this where it's sirens or mermaids or something like that, like this is why
Makes you
Yeah.
feel like a legendary Greek hero, you know?
exactly. So obviously we've both dealt with dolphins and fish swimming with boats. I was a submariner, so I was in a submarine. I was a submariner. You were probably exposed to a lot more being on an actual ship.
Aircraft carrier,
Yeah.
seeing it. Yeah.
But I've seen dolphins. They like to ride the waves, but when they do that, they're jumping up and they're doing their
Yeah, that looked like, I don't know. Like it did not. It was not the same pattern as a dolphin. It
No.
was way faster. It was, well, I mean, dolphins are fast, but they jump. They jump out of the water.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't swim like that.
Yeah. I
Their
I
their
don't
bodies
know.
aren't angled for it.
I mean, the fastest um creature in the water, I think, as we know it, is the swordfish, the marlin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've never seen a marlin in person, but
And I don't think a marlin would follow a ship like that either.
I don't know the behaviors of marlin. I know they operate more up open ocean in the north slightly. I think I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the noises are interesting. They sound most of those noises do sound like aquatic sounds, like a dolphin call, the clicks, the kind of the whoops, if you will. The jump for me is very interesting. I don't know if we're being not we're being mentally tricked because we're seeing the letters jump for me, so our brain's gonna hear jump for me.
Yeah.
Um, or if there's someone standing off camera that just makes a weird girl moan jump for me noise. That
That's it. Looks like a, new EP for Drake. Jump for me.
I would listen to that. Jump for
Yeah, me
me,
too.
Anyway,
Jump for me.
that's our third channel idea for the day. All right, so that one bit longer, bit more stuff to see. Very interesting. I think either they got some awesome audio equipment that they're blaring off camera at all times, and then they just had some really fast fish that I don't know anything about. Which isn't. I'm not saying I'm an expert on fish. That could be legitimately a fish I just don't know anything about. Which I'm
I
not.
could see it being real. I could see it
Yeah,
being real, Sean.
I could see it being real too. I'm trying to come at it first from like how would I get around this? But he doesn't seem scared. He seems in his full faculties, and he seems very like this is awesome, right?
Yeah.
And that's you know, I imagine that's
He's
how I would feel if this shit was happening to me.
he's
I
trying to
mean,
get that mermaid ussy.
listen. I mean, I'm not gonna. There's a reason why all those sailors died back in the day. They're
That's
not gonna
true.
not do it.
Death by
Um,
snoo snoo.
all right. Well, so but here you bring up interesting stuff there, death by snooze, because what would you do if you saw this, Jim?
Baby. Baby, come on, see. Baby, baby. Babe. See, one. It's on me. Come on, see. What's that?
What the hell is that?
Terrifying. That's what that is, Jim. Terrifying.
Terrifying. Is that like a Spanish banshee?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have 100 different things it could be. In the description of the video, they were calling it a witch,
A lady in white?
lady in white. Um, this is the kind of stuff that reminds me, like, it's well, I think we haven't said it enough. This is terrifying.
Oh yeah, I'd be
It's
fucked up.
too clean, in my opinion, though. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you know what I'm saying. Where they open their curtain and they look, and they're like, "Come
And
look,
it
come
just
look." There's
gently, and
nothing
it's
there, and they like. So you had to know something was going to be there, and all you had is weird noises, and there was nothing. and then it slowly came into view and sat there
I
perfectly.
thought they were calling Pip again the cat. I was like, the cat's in their house too.
That's the true cryptid. We have to find Pip.
Pip.
And then the eyes. The eyes for me. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna move this to when we just see it hovering there, and pause it. Those eyes look fake. I'm sorry. That
No, I agree. It's like why is it why are the eyes glowing? Even on a like I don't know.
well, you like IR like low light creatures that see night vision. Their eyes are reflective, just like cats and dogs, right? Um, but that doesn't look right. I mean, it looks very CGI.
Like
Trying to get as close.
shit,
as
I'd leave
possible,
that curtain. No, it's not like that curtain's gonna protect you from anything.
right?
Leave it open so you know tactical. I'd pull out.
So you can see the elongated hands. This, like, obviously, if this was real, this isn't done by practical means. See the small feet, the elongated fingers, the wizard sleeve, and I mean, it looks like a very nice rendered model.
It does.
I want to track light sources on it. So I will say the light seems relatively consistent. Like on the left side.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Harry Potter needs to go get his Death Eaters.
Right? It does look like that. So obviously you can see the lights to the left.
Like, is it what is it over? Is that the hair floating?
I think it's supposed to be like a ghastly, right? It's just gas, hair gas. I don't know.
And like, why is she doing a swimming motion when she's coming down? You would think if it was magic, she would just like float
well,
over.
listen, I'm not going to say I'm an expert on interdimensional, magical, or other modes of transportation.
A fifth being comes in, or
If theoretically, if you were light enough to be suspended in air, as if air was like a liquid because it's a fluid, I think you could theoretically swim through it. No,
that's true.
I don't know. Scientists, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm right. People with higher education than me, people who paid attention in school, tell me. But
We want to know.
I don't know. I guess it's how they chose to render it, Jim. Yeah, that's the real answer. So I think that's the last of the grab bag, and I think we're almost at the 45-minute mark. So I think I'm going to sign off here. Thank you all for watching. Jim, any last words of love or hate for the viewers and the community?
You can all die. I'm just kidding. I love everybody. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.